Well, it's official. And despite all the meltdowns that you're seeing on TikTok saying how Democrats or Kamala or AOC are somehow going to use some big brain chess move to stop Trump from going into the White House, remember, all these meltdowns that you're seeing on TikTok are of unhinged people. Now, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Biden meeting Trump. That's right. Trump and Biden are meeting. There's going to be a transition of power. Folks, everyone who has Trump derangement syndrome, get over it, okay? Now, we called this out and we gave this warning. Daniel and I said very clearly that if the Biden-Harris administration fails to follow through with its promises, there's a very good chance that Trump's going to run again, and there's a 50-50 chance that he could get elected into office, okay? Now, I called it out 50-50 because, again, voter enthusiasm is key and election integrity in the USA. What's that? But perhaps maybe I'm projecting my dealings with the Chicago election cycle upon a whole nation. But then again, there's always election shenanigans. But nonetheless, Trump got elected in office. The election is over. Pretty much it's one and done. But this was quite a meeting. And this happened right after we did our show on Wednesday. So I think it's only fair we pull it up here and just at least talk about what exactly went down in the Oval Office.
Leader of the free world.
All right, let's go to this. Their meeting.
Looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough. And it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today. And I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get. And I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
That is the press right there. The press meowing and yelling like cats. Meow, 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 meow. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet these two probably had a long conversation, or either that maybe Trump got worn out by listening to Biden speak, because we got a segment to talk about how the Democrats knew about Biden's decline. But let's push forward. God, it's like herding cats.
Wow. I mean, just even looking at the body language,
For
right?
sure. One of the interesting things, President Trump deferring to President Biden there by not answering questions. And
That took
other
some
things,
restraint. You know it
for
did.
sure, because he's been in that position. We've all been in the Oval with him, and he often liked to answer questions.
And I'm sorry, just the imagery, the fire burning, the bust of MLK on one side, JFK on the other.
Yeah. How interesting is that? You got Martin Luther King on one side. I think that's RFK or maybe JFK on the other side. Let's just be clear on that. I mean, it could be one of those two, but MLK, JFK, RFK. All somehow seem to be taken out under mysterious circumstances because they were causing some sort of a ruckus or shaking some kind of apple cart. I want to blame any kind of organization. CIA. Sorry. Whoa, that came fast. Whoa, what was that?
I mean, wow, that is a moment. And these two men have not seen each other, I don't think, since our debate.
Yes, the debate. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about what is going on. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on and happening here. So Donald Trump reveals exclusively to the Post what he and Biden spoke about at the D.C. meeting. So this was very interesting. So President-elect Donald Trump told the Post Wednesday that he and President Biden both really enjoyed seeing each other. All right. When they sat down for a historic post-election get together in the Oval Office. It's been a long slog, the 78-year-old said during the phone interview as he left Washington. It's been a lot of work on both sides, and he did a very good job with respect to campaigning and everything else. We really had a good meeting. So Okay, seems like they're pretty happy. It seems like they're pretty happy indeed. And of course, there's been a couple of memes here of this photo in particular where Trump is saying to Biden, I know you voted for me. So whatever. Let's see. We got to know each other again. Continue on. The last two presidents in the United States discussed the transition of power on January 20th, with Trump telling in front of the world's press that it would be as smooth as it can be, following the Republicans' attempt to contest the results 4 years ago that culminated in January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Again, I'm if there's one thing I'm looking forward to, I'm very curious to see how liberals are going to react to the transfer of power, but also I just cannot wait till this whole panic about January 6th is finally put to bed and laid to rest. In my own personal opinion, before we continue on with the rest of the article, this is how I personally feel about January 6th. It was one big, sloppy, stupid shite show that was a waste of time and seemed to have dominated the political space under the Biden-Harris administration for 4 years. There have been examples in which the Capitol Police let the Trump people in, and it wasn't madness and insanity, Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon. No. More videos are coming out of just people just walking around the Capitol building, going inside, checking it out. The memes have been glorious. And yes, it was stupid. It was pointless. And it wasn't the end all be all. It wasn't the end of the republic. Don't worry. Your republic was sold a long time ago. I am so sorry. If you're just tuning in to Hard Lens Media, we don't have a constitutional republic, and no, we don't have a democracy. We have an oligarchy in which corporations can buy your favorite politicians. So that's how it is. Debate me on that. It's going very smoothly, Trump told the Post, of the process of picking officials for his second term, adding that the Republican transition team and the Biden White House enjoyed a very, very, very good relationship. Isn't that nice? Look, he's pointing right at you, liberals. The president-elect added that he and Biden did discuss two issues on which they differed in the past. The war in Ukraine, which was wasteful. So much money being wasted on a pointless war, which Trump has promised to end almost immediately upon taking office. Hey, Biden, Harris, maybe, I don't know, you can end that as well. But no, they're pushing for more war. So that's happening. And the ongoing war in the Middle East, because there's a genocide in Gaza. Say it with me, folks. What could possibly go wrong? I asked for his views, and he gave them to me, Trump told the Post. Also, we talked very much about the Middle East. Likewise, I wanted to know his views on where we are and what he thinks, and he gave them to me. He was very gracious. I bet just Biden was saying, oh, thank God, I won't get hurt anymore. Okay, I shouldn't project that. That is wrong of me. But come on, what they did, having a senile old man like Biden in the White House, who's past his prime, for those of us who have taken care of our elderly relatives or seen our friends who are taking care of elderly relatives, I think we know the signs of dementia, Alzheimer's, or someone losing their ability to be a functioning member of society. It is very painful to watch, and that was what's passed as our president for the past 4 years. They all knew. They all knew. Trump also revealed that he and Biden are expecting to see each other again just before his inauguration, which the Democratic incumbent has already said he would attend. The Oval Office is so beautiful, and I do certainly look forward to coming back, he said. That's being Trump. We'll have a very, very nice meeting that takes place between two presidents sometime prior. You know, it takes place just prior to going in. So we'll have that. But this was a very enjoyable meeting. So they met, they talked some more, and that's that. It's a transfer of power. That's it. All it is that the empire is still going on. And what are they talking about? The war in Ukraine, the war in the Middle East, the genocide in Gaza, to be more precise, and possibly the current economic neoliberal nightmare we're in, and so much more. And who knows? Maybe Joe Biden could have possibly somehow, as they were talking, handed Trump a letter saying, please help, please help. I'm an old man. I'm confused half the time. Where am I? What's going on? But this is very fascinating to see. Notice that the mention of Kamala seems to have passed aside. And I just wanted to bring that up here for an interesting concept in order to talk about a little bit further. And that is when Biden stepped aside and Kamala was taking the reins and eventually named the nominee, Biden was no longer being mentioned. I mean, was dropped here and there, but Kamala was the front and center person. And now that Kamala lost the campaign against Donald Trump, Kamala's now being pushed aside, and Biden's front and center. And look at this wonderful, wonderful little image right here of both Trump and Biden in the Oval Office, smiling. A lot of people right now are eating crow. A lot of people right now are enjoying a nice slice of humble pie. I said that this could possibly happen, okay? Now, when I say possibly, it's not like, oh, I knew right away, but I saw this coming around the horizon. Whether or not Trump would get reelected or not would be depending on the voter and voter enthusiasm. But I talked about this in 2020. Democrats, it's abundantly clear you never learned your lesson. You never listened to people that would challenge you critically. And even then, if we're talking about election integrity, because there are so many people doing twists and turns, talking about, oh, this happened, or Elon somehow did this with Starlink, with the election machines. No. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. Okay? Because there have been questionable election results in this country long before Donald Trump decided to throw his hat in the ring and run for president of the United States. It's been an ongoing problem for the past decades. Trump is president. It's over. Now, all these people who are holding on to hope, somehow looking at astrology, because, yes, I've been watching TikTok meltdowns, and no, there might be another meltdown collage that I might do somewhere down the road, because at the one point they're funny, but the other side, I get a little scared because there's a mental health crisis. But stop thinking that somehow Trump's not going to go into the White House. No, it's official. It's over. OVER, it's over. This is a sign of a transfer of power. This is what's going to happen. Daniel and I said that there's a possibility that this could repeat itself in 2020. And we have been proven factually correct. So I don't know what kind of excuses Democrats are going to have during the midterms or what they're going to try and pull out. I mean, I will make this prediction. And I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong about it. Okay, this is something I want to be wrong about, and I can't wait to say, oh, thank God, I got this wrong. They're going to be talking about trying to impeach Trump again. I know it, during the midterms. And then, of course, in 2028, whatever happens there, Democrats, it's clear to me that you are incapable of making change by having such a screwed up primary process in which voters can't really actively engage. What's the incentive of being part of a political party that will already make the decisions for you? Final note. Here we are again, Trump and Biden. Trump's going to be in the White House. How do we fight back? We start building movements and organizations not connected to Washington, D.C., breaking away from the two-party system, focusing on citizen ballot initiatives, turning states that aren't ballot initiative states into ballot initiative states so we can fight for a better future. Trump's the president. Deal with it. But there are so many. Oh, sorry, I just realized I had the mouse over Trump's face. Sorry about that. There are just so many people right now panicking and so sad about this and upset that this meeting took place yesterday. What do you expect is going to happen? Some sort of weird 3D chess move, 4D chess move, some kind of chess move? No. It's over. Simple.
It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Whether or not in Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel.
I don't mean to sound alarmist, but most of what they let you read is garbage. Most of it's designed to warp our minds until subconsciously you find you'll take the time to lick their boots free of grime and wipe their minds free of tarnish. Oil is the centerpiece, a body count of millions is the garnish. So how's it feel to know we funded every carcass? That every year our taxes pay for carpet bombing Gaza under shroud of darkness? Or that we spend enough a year to house and feed each homeless person in the streets on turning families in apartment buildings in the Middle East to bloody craters full of charred garments? And our media is silent at best. At worst, they can find it in themselves to call war crimes clashes and label children burned to ashes terrorists who played a stupid game and reaped the harvest. And every time we try to paint the truth, the news sends their slugs to suck off all the varnish and distort it into something harmless. See, the media will hang you by your feet and keep you half asleep. So yes, I'm here to set you free, but freedom won't be sweet because you'll fall 1,000 feet when I come cut you out your harness. They say those who dream the deepest fall the farthest. They also say that home is where the heart is. But if home for you is Gaza, Netanyahu's got you painted as a target. Perhaps it's not the impact, but it's what you see when falling that will hit the hardest. Maybe it's the sound of all those children crying out in those apartments that will hit the hardest. Maybe all those little bodies scattered in the dirt will hit the hardest. Maybe seeing human lives assigned such little worth will hit the hardest. Maybe it's the knowledge that you're paying for the darkest of atrocities committed on this earth that will hit the hardest. Maybe it's the knowledge that we give 10 million a day to oppressors who possess the kind of Medicare you'll die in debt before you see that's gonna hit the hardest. Maybe then you'll see you've always had more in common with the commoners whose slaughter we fund every day in Gaza than our senators and bosses. Maybe then you'll see our country never had a conscience. Maybe then the retroactive guilt will make you nauseous. Maybe what hits harder than the impact is the act of being conscious, of knowing your complicity and helplessness to try and stop the bloody deeds of Congress. And that no matter who's in office, America preserves its foreign interests by whatever means its greed demands, however monstrous. You see, we'll always need a place to train our contras. And Biden's got a backup plan should harm befall the Holy Land. Wipe it off the map, he'll draw it back on with an iron hand. He demands an Israel or reasonable effigy to exercise democracy and colonize the Middle East. Regardless of the human cost of phosphorus atrocities, bought and paid with money they rerouted out the budget for the non-essential things like ever making Flint's water clean. So maybe what hits hardest is the day you see this country for its actual priorities. And nevermore no honest peace attempting sleep. Maybe then you'll look at politicians making speeches like a blood-encrusted beast espousing destiny to empty seats and fellow leeches. As the gauntlet of democracy extends its brutal reach, like a giant wave of trash come to crash on foreign beaches. Maybe build a base, throw a flag down and heavily pollute the region. Rape your ecosystems, gut your fauna and congratulate you on your new allegiance. Oops, we mean alliance. This is something mutual unless you're non-compliant. We stole something crucial on which you can be reliant. So maybe what hits hardest is the centrist saying both sides need to stop the violence. And those would be the very same centrists saying we should all accept police brutality, who hem and haw and clutch their fucking pearls and spend their time condemning riots. But very soon will come the day the centrists all get censored like the rest of us, and pious as they'll try to be, they won't stay quiet. But they'll just end up shouting in the void that they were also quick to render us subscribers. And it will be too late to light the fires. So far away tonight, there burn the spires of a region set ablaze for which you've paid for every pyre. Which is why your checks weren't all $600 higher. And call it foreign interests or American desires. This is why your checks weren't all $600 higher. Far away tonight, there burn the spires of a region set ablaze for which you've paid for every pyre. Call it foreign interests or American desires. This is why your checks weren't all $600 higher.